What are you going to be teaching about? Oh. How to use your dick.
What is going on, man? This is Patrick James here, and I give you raw dating advice that your mother would not approve of. And this is vlog number 2. Now, I got a confession right now. I promised the vlog would be out on Monday, and it is currently Monday night. In fact, it's actually early Tuesday morning, and I apologize, my man. I apologize, and frankly, I am wiped right now. I'm trying to force this energy, but I am so fucking tired because I had one of the most eventful and busy weeks that I've probably ever had as a dating coach, but at the same time, it was fucking awesome. Let me tell you about it. I moved to a new apartment. Here I am. I've been here for about 3 days and I have zero furniture. Zero furniture. It's very minimalist. As you can tell, I like to keep my furniture down to a minimum, and I like, you know, this modern minimal lifestyle because all I really need at the end of the day is my camera and my phone. Got a text. Yeah, so interesting fact about me arriving to my brand new apartment complex. I got here and I got out of my car and I hit the lock button, and then I got in my car and I realized all I have is my camera and my keys are locked in my car. I left them in the ignition. So my car is actually down there if you can see it. It's the red one. Yeah, so now I'm just chilling in my brand new place, no furniture and no car keys. And it's 105 degrees out. But no matter what happens in my empty ass apartment with very hot weather, I was so excited. I was so pumped about getting the opportunity to speak at this seminar that my buddy Rob Judge and Bobby Rio was having. Welcome to this seminar. Unlock her legs. Unlock the scrambler. Who here has bought the scrambler before? Yeah, a few guys. What do you guys think of it so far? Yeah, it's really good. Interesting story. So I'm a dating coach now. I live in Scottsdale. I go out with Rob Judge all the time. We get drunk together and talk to girls. So one of the things I've realized over the past like 5 years of being immersed in the dating world is like, it really comes down to, it doesn't come down to like cold approaching hundreds of women, building a large social circle, being the wittiest guy on the planet. It really comes down to taking advantage of windows of opportunity. For example, if you get friend zoned by a girl, a lot of times it's because you were too afraid to make the move. You missed your window of opportunity. So I just wanna like congratulate you guys on being here right now because this is a great opportunity. So that's pretty cool. In fact, I was so excited about this seminar that I went from not being a morning person at all to waking up very early and being the first one to speak. As you may know, if you're tired and you're not a morning person and you wake up early, your mind isn't working on all cylinders. So you have to warm yourself up, especially if you're the first person to speak. So let me just roll a few clips showing my process of going from waking up early, going to this seminar, and preparing myself for being the first one to speak. What up, fam? It's 7:30 in the morning. I'm running a little bit late going to Rob Judge's house, but today is the day that the little seminar thing starts. I'm excited. I'm gonna try to get you guys some inside footage. And I gotta get my mind warmed up because Rob Judge asked me to be the first one to speak at his seminar. He also wants me to speak. And I'm talking to the camera right now because I really gotta get my mind working, firing on all cylinders, because one, I'm not a morning person like at all. I don't think very clearly in the morning, especially if I haven't had coffee yet. And two, Rob Judge and Bobby Rio, they called me and they wanted me to be kind of the MC for this event. So they wanted me to not only get up first and motivate people before they get on and start speaking at their own event, but they also want me to give the first presentation of the day.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
You give the name tags, because that way we know if we're missing, because I thought there was only 8 guys upstairs.
Yes. Yes, he. Yeah, I was down.
And I also got the chance to meet an awesome person who I've already had on the channel before, and her name is Jessica J, a female dating coach for men. She used to be the host of Playboy Radio. Playboy, Hugh Hefner, had her hosting his radio show, bro.
Weren't you the host of like Playboy Radio or something?
I was.
Yeah?
I was.
How was that?
Oh, it was really,
Did
you
you-
would think, again, it's very counterintuitive, you would think it was very sexy, but we basically had people coming on talking about their sexual problems.
Really?
Yeah, and we had to cure it in one episode. So it would be like girls who were like, my vagina doesn't get wet. And I'm like, that's not sexy.
You know, and the best part about these dating seminars is not only the fact that, you know, I get to go up, I get to teach, I get to, you know, have another piece of video, a piece of content that I'm creating, but I also get to interact with you guys in person. That's what gets me most excited, because the advice that I give in person to these guys is truly just the most raw advice that I can possibly give in the moment. And all this shit happens off camera, in between takes, when the cameras aren't rolling, when people are coming up to me and bombarding me with questions. I mean, just roll the clip of me giving some guys some raw truth.
Yeah. Even in the small towns though, like it's still a mental block, because people are going to come to you and be like, why are you hitting on Christine? But in reality, that's just them spewing their own insecurities onto you, because maybe either jealousy or they see what you're doing and they're like, I like he's doing something that I've never done and it makes me uncomfortable. Like, that's them spewing their own insecurities onto you. So I still wouldn't even take that personally. You know what I mean? Do you. Like, if you in a small town, the only reason you feel resistance to hitting on girls that you know, or approaching someone you don't know, or any of that stuff, is because like it's built into your evolutionary like brain. Like, if I do something that makes me stick out in this group where everybody knows me, I could get booted from the tribe and I might die. At the end of the day, you gotta do you. And I think so many guys get hung up on like, I can't hit on the girl for exactly what you just said, because you fear loss, you fear uncertainty, you feel rejection, you feel other people will get offended. But just like Rob was saying, you're a man who's straight, who lives in 2017. It's in your own fucking right to hit on women, bro. And if you don't hit on them, this guy's gonna hit on her, right? Like, so I wouldn't feel bad about it. Like, you shouldn't.
So yeah, I mean, good thing I started vlogging, because I got to capture that moment for you, give you some value out of that. So as promised, I promised you a sneak peek into this seminar, a behind the scenes look. I mean, just take a look at this behind the scenes, pristine shot.
What are you gonna be teaching about?
How to use your dick.
Oh. How to use your dick.
Now, I am a man of my word. I told you to actually try to get you a behind the scenes sneak peek to my talk that they're gonna charge money for at this Scrambler Unlock Her Legs seminar. So what is this talk about? Well, it's a 45-minute speech that I gave, and I'm not gonna show you the whole thing. Like I said, this is a sneak peek, but it's a literal formula that I've personally come up with that trains you how to be witty without using pre-canned lines. Now, a lot of guys, they run out of things to say. A lot of guys don't know how to spike attraction, and a lot of guys get in their own head. But if you can remember this particular formula that I delivered to these guys in this seminar, then you, my friend, will be the wittiest motherfucker out there. And that's all we really want at the end of the day, is to be witty, to be charming, to get the girls that we want, to take advantage of the windows of opportunity when they present themselves to us. So, check out this sneak peek to my talk, and stick around to the end of this sneak peek, because I do have a big announcement for you. So, roll the clip.
Cool, are we good? Sound check's good? Y'all good to go? Sweet. Alright, so basically there's a lot of different phases to like dating. So obviously someone was asking me like, what do I specialize in? Yeah, it was this guy over here. And a lot of the teachings that I have is more like, what do you do when you're in front of the girl to like get her attracted to you and like build rapport and all that. But like, you know, Rob obviously and Bobby, they have their thing where it's like, well, what do you do to make her think about you when you're not there? Or like, what do you text her? So like there's these different phases. So a lot of what I'm going to talk about, and even what I'm going to be talking about right now, is like, what do you do when you're face to face with her? What do you say to her? And what like really gets her attracted to you? So what I'm going to teach you today is something that I've written about, and it's something I've taught only in like private seminars like this, and I call it the DTF Formula. And it actually originated because a mutual friend of all of ours, her name is Marnie, the wing girl, asked me to write a little report for her about how to be like witty without using pre-canned lines. And so I challenged myself to make something that was like memorable and like actionable and practical. So that's where the DTF formula came from. Just out of curiosity, who here knows what DTF stands for? Yeah.
Your hand went up first. Yeah. Jessica was like,
Who here likes when girls are DTF?
hate it. The worst.
Cool. So normally, according to Urban Dictionary, I believe it stands for down to fuck. But in here, it's going to stand for disqualify and all right, so I'm going to go over DTF real quick. So there's a story that I once heard about Donald Trump, and regardless of what your opinion is of the guy, Mr. President Donald Trump, there was a story about him back in the day where he walked onto the elevator of the floor 1 of this huge skyscraper. He gets on the elevator, and right as the doors are about to shut, this girl slides onto the elevator with him, and it's just them two. And she's like super hot, like huge boobs, blonde hair, just like blue eyes, gorgeous woman. And he's standing there, he's Donald Trump, probably thinking about business. And she goes, "Holy crap, you're Donald Trump." He goes, "Yeah." And she goes, "We're on this elevator right now alone, going all the way up. I could strip naked and ravish your body and nobody would know." And he goes, pauses, sizes her up and down, he goes, "But what's in it for me?" So I always like to talk about like disqualify, because when you're out in Old Town Scottsdale, where we have, you know, just the mecca of hot girls all year round, a lot of those girls, they're going to run into guys who are trying to find commonalities with them, guys who are trying to be agreeable with them. Rarely do they find the one cocky asshole who's like, you know, "I'm not sold on you yet. Like, I don't know if you're good enough to like be in my life," you know? So disqualifying girls is really important, because not only does it imply that you have options, but it implies that you're not going to settle for any piece of ass that gets in front of you, right? You have standards for yourself. So on that note, women, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, women don't want the guy who wants every girl, right? If the girl knows that you've bounced around the whole place and every girl's rejected you, and you're willing to be with any of them, that's like already unattractive. You're done, right? So you got to figure out, like, you got to have a map before you go into the wilderness, is what I like to say, right? You have to have a map for what you actually want, so that when you go out into the field or into a bar or into a grocery store or in your workplace, you're not going to be thirsty for every girl. You're already going to know what you want, and you can genuinely disqualify them based on those things that you already know you want. And the thing about that is, like, it's going to change over time. Before I started dating a lot of girls, before I got the scrambler and knew like kind of how to make girls like me, I just, like any girl who I found attractive, I wanted. But like after you date a lot of them, you realize like, oh, I don't like when girls do this, or like I like girls who are into this kind of thing, right? You start to figure it out along the way, but you still have to start somewhere, right? Because like I said, you don't want to be the guy who wants every girl. So, I mean, just a little exercise right now that I'm going to have you do after I tell you this story is just like, think about like what qualities you genuinely like in the girls that you find attractive, and not just like, you know, physical ones, but like, do you like girls who are ambitious and read books on business? Do you like girls who like to watch Netflix on Friday nights? Like, what kind of qualities do you look for in women that you actually want to spend time with? Because I've dated tons of girls who were like probably some of the hottest girls I've ever been with, but if I spent more than 20 minutes with them, I wanted to blow my brains out. Like, I could not stand being around them. And you got to get away from that. Or like, if you stay with a girl like that, then what are you conveying back to yourself? You're conveying, I'm not the kind of guy who has standards. I'm just gonna go for whatever wants me because I'm not valuable. Like, whether you're thinking about that consciously or not, your subconscious knows, and it comes out when you're running something like the Scrambler. You're gonna fuck it up because you're already telling yourself, my self-image is not of someone who is valuable, right? So, quick personal story about this. A few years ago, I moved to Arizona for dental school, actually, and I was starting to get into like dating coaching and stuff. And I downloaded all the apps. I had Tinder, I had Bumble, I had one called J-Swipe, which is just the Tinder for Jewish people. And I'm not even Jewish, which is why it's...
I was like, oh, he's Jewish.
I'm not Jewish at all. And I got on this app almost as a joke because I had several girlfriends who were in dental school with me. Not girls I was hooking up with, but like friends who were girls. And we were in Vegas. It was me and 3 girls, which is a pretty good ratio. And we're sitting in the room about to go out, and I see one of these girls on this app called J-Swipe, and she's just swiping guys. I'm like, what is J-Swipe? She goes, oy vey, it's the Jewish Tinder. I was like, okay. So I downloaded J-Swipe just to see if like I could match her real quick. But I kept it when I got back to Arizona, and I would actually match these Jewish girls here, and I would say like the most ridiculous shit, like, you're the type of girl I wish for every Hanukkah. And one of these girls actually met up with me at my apartment, and I took her out on a date. And so I'm not a complete asshole, so I told her right away, like, hey, I'm not actually Jewish, just want to let you know right off the bat. And she thought it was fine, so we went out for drinks. And we come back to my place, you know, seal the deal, and then she leaves, and I'm like itching, right? I just start itching. And I'm like, what's going on here? And I text her, I'm like, hey, do you like have any cats or anything? Because like I'm pretty allergic. And she's like, yeah, I have like 3 of them. It's like, fuck. And so I'm like, I'm just itching. I'm like, well, I'm probably allergic to like something that you had on you because I'm like really itching. And I didn't think anything of it, so I went to sleep that night. And then the next day, it was worse. My like whole body was swollen and it was red. But I'm a man, so I toughed it out. And so I'm eating like spicy food at dinner, and all of a sudden like my throat starts like swelling. I'm like, fuck, like what should I do? So I drive to the ER and get this Benadryl IV, which if you guys have never had a Benadryl IV, I highly recommend it because it's like, I don't know, I've never done heroin, but I assume it's like that. Because you're basically high off your ass for like 15 minutes and then you pass out. Yeah. So anyways, they had to give me an IV because I was having this severe allergic reaction to this girl. And ever since then, I started asking girls like, hey, are you a cat person or a dog person? Right? When I first meet them. And if they say cat person, I like playfully I'll be like, well, in that case we could never be together because like I'm really allergic to cats. And or if they're a dog person, I'll give them a high five and bring them in. And it's just one of those things. Now you have playful, witty banter, but it's something that you genuinely are disqualifying her or qualifying her on. So right now, just take like a few minutes. Think about a few of like the deal breakers for you. Like what? Like does a girl have cats? Like do you not like cats? Like you know, things like that. Do you not like girls who do CrossFit, or do you only like girls who do CrossFit? Things like that. What do you like in girls? Write down like 5 to 10 of those.
Whoa. I had to cut it off there. It was getting too deep, too intense, and I don't want to be unfair to the guys who actually paid to be there. So if you want to check out the rest of the talk, I will find a way for you to get that when the actual footage is made available. Be on the lookout for that. But like I promised, I do have a big announcement for you. Now, I feel like the whole point of today's vlog, this week's vlog, is to show you the importance of getting to be able to go to a live event, getting personalized training, because nothing beats not only me getting to look you personally face to face in the eye and answer your one burning question, but at the same time, you get to see dating coaches, people like me, people who have been where you are right now, interact with women. All these guys got to see me interacting with Jessica J. All these guys got to see me going out at night at dinner and interacting with girls at a bar. All these guys got to see me interacting with people. And I'll tell you what, the first time I went to a dating seminar when I was still learning this kind of stuff, just seeing these people who were better at game than me, seeing people who are more charming than me, more quick-witted than me, seeing the way they interacted just with people or even with me was a game changer, bro. So here's the big announcement. I'm gonna give you the opportunity to work with me for free. Now, there's absolutely zero catch. In fact, the only thing I'll require you to do is answer a question for me. And that question is, what do you want to know? All right, what do you want to know about meeting, attracting, seducing, and dating the women that you actually want? Because here's the thing that a lot of guys don't really understand, and here's the point of working with me in this free workshop that I'm gonna be giving on to you, is I'm gonna teach you exactly how to get the girlfriend or girlfriends, if you're into that sort of thing, of your choice without having to approach hundreds of thousands of women and without having to rely on building a large, awesome social circle. Because let's be honest, you don't have to be the most charismatic guy in the room. You don't have to be the guy with the largest, most connected social circle in your city. And you don't have to go through hundreds of thousands of rejections to meet the women and date the women of your choice, all right? All you gotta know is how to woo the girl who's right in front of you. That's it. You gotta know how to woo her, and that's exactly what I'm gonna teach you if you choose to work with me in person. So, all you gotta do to answer the question that I asked you, what's your burning desire, what's your burning question, is click the link on this video or in this description below, and it will take you to a page. And once you let me know exactly what your question is, I'm gonna give you access to this live workshop that I'm giving here in the next couple of weeks. So, that said, I can't wait to get this journey started with you. I hope you enjoyed this vlog, and I will see you in next week's vlog. Peace out, motherfuckers.